You want to drive something sporty on a daily basis? I don't blame you. I like driving sporty cars too. But you also need a little bit of practicality. That's where the wonderful world of the hot hatch comes in. And there are some good offerings out there. One such offering you might be considering is the Hyundai Veloster. This is the 2016 Hyundai Veloster Turbo Rally Edition. And it certainly looks like a hot hatchback. The problem is, it definitely plays up the hatchback side. It might not be playing up the hot side. So this thing definitely has the looks down right. Hyundai went all out. They've learned from their prior Veloster where they offered a matte paint, and now you have this blue matte finish, and it looks pretty good, and it's way less expensive than what you might find on some German offerings. You still got to be careful with it because it is matte paint and you can scrub it shiny, and that's not a good thing. But it's got this cool flat black face up here. It's got a nice carbon fiber looking front chin splitter. To complement the satin blue look, you've got these great looking 18-inch raised wheels finished in black. They look great. You got another bit of carbon looking side sill down here. If you come around to the back, since it is a Veloster Turbo, you've got the 2 exhaust outlets in the back, and you get a Rally Edition badge to let the world know that you've stepped it up a little bit when you purchased your Veloster Turbo. So the base Veloster is a non-turbocharged car. You step up a little bit, you get the turbo, from there you get the R-Spec, and now for 2016 you have this Rally Edition. But at the heart, starting from the turbo, it's the same mill. That's a 1.6 liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Turbocharged, of course, forced induction. So it's making 201 horsepower, and it's making about 195 pound-feet of torque. Now, you can get it with a 6-speed manual gearbox, but new for 2016, you can actually get this with a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox. If the outside of the Veloster Rally Edition is playing the role of the pumped-up, aggressive hot hatchback, inside, it's pretending to be a bit of a sport bike, at least according to Hyundai. That's where their inspiration came for this car, is how people customize their sport bikes. So that's what you're supposed to see when you look in here. And I'll be honest, I see a little bit of it, like the way this is written into the seat here. There's turbo lettering, the blue trim, these plastic grab handles here, and in the doors, there are aspects that do remind me of a sport bike. I wouldn't have thought about it unless they put that idea in my head, so there's that. But either way, this is a decently designed interior space. These seats, Hyundai's gotten a lot better with their seats. I keep harping on that over the years. These ones are perfectly bolstered for a car like this. The floor mats look great with the Rally Edition lettering down there. And another cool feature is this upgraded short shifter. It's a B&M shifter unit, and it is pretty slick little unit, which will be better when the car's turned on and I'm actually driving it. On paper, the idea of the Veloster Turbo is a good one. This car weighs under 3,000 pounds. It's got just over 200 horsepower, but it kind of falls on its face once you actually drive it. What you're dealing with here is a nicely aggressively designed hatchback that's an economy car. Now, most hot hatches start life as an economy car. You know, the GTI, there's the Golf. The Focus ST, there's the regular Focus. The Fiesta ST, same thing. Here though, it never grows beyond an economy car. You'll probably get pretty good fuel economy, but you're not going to be doing much sporty driving. You can pretend with this short shifter, you know, do your best Fast and Furious impression, roll through the gears, but you'll never get that exciting experience that you might be looking for when you think of the term hot hatchback. Now, just in general everyday driving, the seats are comfortable while still being bolstered. Though I've always felt that the Veloster sits a little high up. I have this seat ratcheted all the way down. I have some headroom here. I've clearance, I'm 6'3", so I'm tall and there's room, but I just feel like I'm looking up, down over the hood, where I'd rather be sitting a little bit lower and looking out at the road. Furthermore, since this is a Hyundai, you know, their steering tuning is getting a little bit better as they graduate. Actually, not a little bit better, it's getting a lot better. But there's not a ton of feel here. There's just better sensation through the wheel, if that makes sense. It's a little bit tighter in the steering wheel than it used to be without feeling as rubber bandy as it has felt in past applications. Now, one area where they really actually did go for it with the Veloster Rally Edition is in the suspension tuning. They've upped the damping rates for the springs, the shocks, and the anti-roll bars. So you've got a more aggressive ride to match the more aggressive exterior. But still, let's punch it. It's not exactly blowing my skirt back. Go ahead and make all the jokes you want with that line. So what else is out there in the hot hatch segment? Well, there's 3 cars that spring immediately to my mind. You have the Volkswagen GTI. It's pretty much the king of the segment, and for good reason. It's just a wonderfully driving near luxury car at this point. It's basically a baby Audi still wearing its Volkswagen badging. This car, which is the top spec Veloster, will cost you right around $25,000, which is where the GTI starts. So you're going to pay more for a GTI, but you're going to get more, both in terms of the driving experience and just the overall enjoyment from that car. Besides the Volkswagen though, Ford has two great offerings you should consider. The Focus ST, which is bigger than this and starts around where this one tops out at. Again, driving dynamics, fantastic in that car. Now, if you don't need that much room, you can get the Fiesta ST and undercut the price of this one and get a car that also drives far better. The chassis in that car is absolutely brilliant, and that is tremendous bang for the buck in the Fiesta ST. So here, with the Veloster Rally Edition, it's nice to see some of the upgrades they've made, most notably in the shifter and the suspension tuning, and the overall stance and style is more aggressive, but there's definitely no hotness to this hatchback.